What are you doing? What are you doing? I love you. Hi guys, I'm Erin Brooks. Obviously I'm not Michael. And this is Devin. And he is obviously not Butch. But he's so cute. And some of you guys know me as Supermom. Michael and I are doing a kind of switcheroo today, as us YouTubers like to do. I do actual workouts, do all types of martial arts, and I do anywhere from 20 to hour and a half long workouts, post 6 days a week, 7 days. The 7th day I normally post me doing a peers workout or something else ridiculous, or even some fun yoga. I post pretty much daily. Let me tell you guys a little bit about me. I have had a very rough journey, let's put it that way. Both my parents, as I grew up, were disabled. My mother had fibromyalgia and my father had a herniated disc in his neck, was diabetic, and was legally blind, so he could not drive. We're separated, so I would go from one house to the other, taking care of the parent of the day, so to speak. In doing that, I was very wanting to go home and just take care of them. I really didn't want to socialize much after school. So once I got into high school, that pressure of being the caretaker kind of hit, and I actually started to gain weight. My father let me know, not so gently, that I had gained too much weight. He told me I was fat and that I was not beautiful and would never ever be a supermodel. And that triggered me to become anorexic. During that time, my grandmother was fighting cancer, and I had lost a tremendous amount of time that I could have spent with her trying to hide what everybody already knew, that I was anorexic and not eating properly. She passed after I graduated high school, and that's when I nipped my anorexia in the butt. I'm not saying I didn't have food issues still, or didn't try to control or overtrain, but I did eat every day. Now, my mother at the time was smoking a lot, and she started to get clogged veins with nicotine. She ended up having to have her legs removed by the knees because of all the nicotine that had clogged in her legs. So her legs had died, and she was wheelchair bound then. In 2003, I got my first real job at a gourmet, and that's where I met my husband, Randy. He was the son of one of the managers, and he would always show up for me, and I would always go in there on my days off trying to just want a sandwich or something just to see him. It got to the point where, sadly, he got me fired because we couldn't stay away from each other, and of course he had seniority. He also helped me recuperate a bit more mentally and physically with my health. Soon after that, my mother passed away from still smoking. She died from a blood clot to her lung and her heart. I then was disowned by my father for about 5 years because Randy was not rich or Jewish. So I moved out and started living with Randy. I was still in college at this time. It was 2006. I was working for my school doing graphic design. I was majoring in graphic design / illustration, which was a double major made specifically for me, and minoring in art history. Sadly though, during spring break, we were in a car accident, and that changed my life forever. I had my arm broken in half, and sadly, due to poor doctoring, it did not heal properly, and the bones were allowed to shift and impinge nerves and all that jazz. So I do suffer from loss of motion, which is why on my workouts you'll see if I'm lifting weights, this is what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. I suffer from constant pain, and that's something that I just push through every day. My trusty heating pad here, and I do use stuffed animals to help relieve the pressure. 2010, I had Sammy, and one thing that I knew off the bat was that I would not let her grow up knowing that her disabled mom would use that as an excuse not to be there for her for events. After Sammy was born, I had a weird dream about my mom and my Grammy telling me to reconnect with my father. I went out on a limb, and I called him up, and we were together. I would go over 1 to 2 days a week and help him out at home. He had become a hermit for the most part and a hoarder, so I would go and clean. He loves Sammy, and I'm so glad that he got to know her. He passed away from a diabetic coma 2 years ago. So, I mean, it was, after getting to re-know him again, him embracing my husband and Sammy, it hit me hard. So after my dad's death, Randy, Sammy, and fitness are what kept me going mentally and physically. Back a year ago, my mentor told me to create my own YouTube channel. He said that obviously I had great ideas, that my love of fitness was overflowing, and that I should just spit it out to the world. The very next day, I made the worst YouTube video ever. I had no plan, no script, nothing written out for what I was going to do in front of the camera, but I made my first workout, and I've been doing it ever since. I can't imagine my life now without it. I find it gives me purpose. It helps me so much mentally, spiritually. I have met such an amazing family, like my little bro Michael, from this, and I just can't imagine my life without it. And of course, when Sam's older, it will be the wonderful humiliation when she's dating. So thank you, little bro, for letting me on your channel and sharing my story and what I do with your side of the world. Please check out my channel, SuperMOM. I'm Erin Brooks, and I will see you guys tomorrow. See ya. And Krista jumped in the window.